Hi, this is Susanna from Hold It Right There Sewing Patterns. Metal zippers add a unique look to sewing bags, pouches, and wallets. They're especially durable and hold up well to daily use. And metal zippers are easier to use than you may think. In this video, I will give a few tips for sewing with metal zippers in bag making. I recommend a few supplies that you likely already have. These include a heavier weight needle, such as a denim needle. I am using Schmetz brand jeans needle size 100/16. For shortening a metal zipper, you will need an old pair of scissors. You do not want to use your good sewing scissors for this. Also, a hand sewing needle and thread is helpful if you're shortening a metal zipper. Let's begin with how to shorten a metal zipper. This is a frequent part of bag making and is essentially done in the same way as shortening a nylon zipper, just with a few considerations. In this video, I am sewing a Roxbury pouch. This is a free sewing pattern available on my website linked below. Since this pattern requires only one zipper tab, I am folding the end of the zipper at a 45-degree angle where I marked it, just as I would with a nylon zipper. I use a hand sewing needle and thread to tack down the folded end of my metal zipper. This can be accomplished at your sewing machine, but the biggest thing to keep in mind is to avoid sewing over the metal teeth. Sewing over the metal zipper teeth will break your sewing machine needle. Since I use metal zippers so much in my own bag making, I just keep a few hand sewing needles threaded at all times for this purpose. I'm repeating this step on the opposite side of the zipper tape, folding it where I marked so that it's again at a 45-degree angle, and hand stitching the folded zipper tape in place. I'm ready to measure the total length of the zipper required in my pattern. I draw a line on the zipper tape just as I would with a nylon zipper. About 1/8 inch above the line that I drew, I again use my hand sewing needle to sew a new zipper stop. This will prevent the zipper pull from coming off of the zipper. If your sewing machine has the ability to sew a very wide stitch that would span the height of the zipper teeth, you can tack a wide stitch length on either side of the zipper teeth, again being sure that your needle doesn't make contact with the metal teeth and break. I'm ready to shorten my metal zipper to the length my sewing pattern calls for. So I'm using my old pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut where I previously marked on the zipper teeth. I'm cutting between the metal zipper teeth, and sometimes this cut will be a little jagged, but that's okay because the zipper will be covered in a zipper tab. In the same way, I'm going to trim the excess zipper tape so that it's even with the rest of the zipper, using my old scissors and cutting between the metal zipper teeth. And I do this on both sides so that the end of the zipper doesn't have long tails hanging off of it. This is the exact same way I would prepare a nylon zipper. Before I sew the zipper tab onto my shortened metal zipper, I'm going to switch to a heavier needle. And again, I have Schmetz brand jeans needle size 100/16. I found that this heavier needle size is able to navigate around the metal zipper teeth very well without breaking, and just so long as I sew very slowly and use my hand wheel when I'm sewing in between the zipper teeth. With my heavier needle installed, I'm ready to sew on the zipper tab. The main thing to know here is that you need to use your hand wheel as your sewing machine needle is going over the metal teeth. And you actually want the needle to go in between the metal teeth. Here I'm installing my metal zipper on my exterior Roxbury front panel. And there's not too much different that I would do using a nylon zipper versus metal, except that I am starting well out of the way of the zipper pull. I personally just find this easier. So I'll begin maybe a couple inches from the zipper pull, sew as I would. And you can see I have my walking foot attachment on my sewing machine. I just tend to use it all the time for bag making. You could switch to a zipper foot if you wanted. Now I'm going to open the zipper and sew the top part of the zipper that I missed earlier, and the zipper pull is out of the way. This end of the zipper has some metal zipper teeth coiled under it. So here I'm going to be extra careful, use my hand wheel, backstitch a few times to lock the stitches in place, and until I'm out of the way of those zipper teeth, I'm not going to sew with my foot pedal. Here I've attached the zipper to the lining panels and the exterior panels of my Roxbury pouch, and I'm ready to top stitch. I'm beginning my top stitching where indicated in my sewing pattern instructions, 5/8 inch from the edge. And here I'm going to use my hand wheel, backstitch a couple of times, locking in the stitching, and being extra careful to make sure my needle goes between the metal zipper teeth. Once I've passed those, I can use my foot paddle and sew top stitching along the side of the zipper until I reach the edge. And again, I'm opening the zipper, maneuvering the zipper pull out of the way. This time I want to keep my stitching continuous because it is top stitching, and it will show if I stop and start my stitching. I've come to the zipper tab, so I am ready to pivot. And just like I did earlier, I'm going to use my hand wheel and turn it toward me, guiding the needle in between the metal zipper teeth. Then I'm going to pivot again, top stitch the opposite side of the pouch along the zipper. And I don't do anything special in terms of seam allowance. I find I can sew the same distance from the zipper teeth, whether they're metal or nylon. I'm actually sewing a little further from the zipper than I ordinarily do in this video, and that's more due to my filming angle and my poor eyesight than anything else. And here I've come to the edge. This is where the zipper end is turned under. So again, I'm using my hand wheel. And that's really the biggest tip. Use the hand wheel and use a thicker, heavier needle when sewing with metal zippers. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you find it helpful. And I hope you give metal zippers a try. The metal zipper I'm using here, I purchased from the Etsy seller Zip It Zippers, and I do have her Etsy shop linked below. I've bought from her for years, and I'm really impressed with the quality. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing!